Well, good morning, you handsome lot, on this fine Saturday morning. Now, I am here on my own. The other lads will be here about 9 o'clock. I like to come in at 8 o'clock on a Saturday to get things done and have a tiny little bit of peace and quiet. But behind me, I have got an F40, which is registered at 2019, and it's got a little bit of a fault with it, which I'm going to show you now. Now, these BMWs, or all BMWs, are well known for the angel eyes, or the rings. Now, as you can see, this one here has gone yellow. Now, although it's a lot of boy races and stuff, they are going for this yellow kind of look. But that is not right. The customer wants it like that. Let's get involved and have a little look-a-rooning. Now, before we get involved, while I'm waiting for my ramp to go down, I get asked quite a lot, why do I have the ramps up in the air and drive in? Because there's a wall there and there's a wall there. I'm going to tell you a little story now. When we had all these ramps installed, 1, 2, 3, 4, the idea of it was that we were going to have the front of this building taken out, so each, like a sort of thing in the doorway, okay, and that was going to come out so you could pretty much drive on the ramps. Anyway, we were too busy with work and one thing and another that it never got done. So the ramps got installed. Now this is why I have to have the ramps right up in the air, because I have to drive in at a little bit of an angle in between. Let me show you. In between that post there, you can see where all the scrap goes. In between there and there. So you have to back in, but you don't catch anything. Even though on camera it doesn't look a lot of room, there is more than enough room. You've even seen me get transits on here. Now, to carry out this repair, there's a set of LEDs that you need to buy, which is from BMW. You can get them online, but you're better off with OEM stuff. See? BMW. And that is the part number that we need. And they look a little bit like this. And what happens is, the little LEDs or the boards, they can fail. So we're going to get these swapped out. Now, looking at the job, that one is going to be so easy to do. But that one, by there, might be a little bit tight. We can get the top screw from up above, but the bottom one, I think, we're going to have to take the inner wheel arch out, which isn't a problem. Now, before we take the car up in the air, I think this is going to be easier being removed and wiggled past the bit of a frame here. So I think what we're going to do is take the top one out first, and it is a little T20, so we can get the car up in the air, get the wheel off, get the inner wheel arch off. And believe it or not, when you order the kit from BMW, you get 4 brand new little screws, right? How naffy is that? Now we've got that vehicle up in the air, we've removed the passenger front wheel. Let's move round to the inner wheel arch. Now, there is a few little 8mm fasteners that we need to remove. Now, I don't think we need to take this full inner wheel arch off. We can just to there, and it should just pull back around the hub. Let's crack on and get these off. I don't know what to say other than a little bit of a plot twist. Right, you ready? Let me get me torch rooning so we can show you some light. Now, as you can see, we've got now all that inner wheel arch out, and I've just had to remove. I'm probably going to get, oh, you don't need to remove that, you don't need to remove this little bracket here, right, just to enable it to pull that back enough to slide it out. But to take this bracket off, there's 2 bolts up here, up there, so I've had to take the inner wheel arch off to start with, and then the plastic trim that goes up the wing here, and there's a couple of bolts there, and there that secure the light in. Now, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I don't want to take the front bumper off, because it's got all your ADAS, your radars and stuff like that and whatever. I don't want to misalign it when refitting it. But this is where the milk turns sour. So we've 99% got this little LED pack removed. Now bearing in mind I ordered these lights probably over a week ago before the bank holiday, and it got delivered Tuesday, ready for the job coming in Saturday morning, and I'm in this position with a car. So I think to myself, right, I'm gonna get a little look now and see what these are all about. That R. Right. Is for that side. And they've got a L for left, obviously. It's the left side that I need. Now it's little things like this that really do annoy me, and probably that you don't see in other videos. Problems that you run into. But nonetheless, I've been back on the phone to BMW, and they are getting me the correct side for Monday afternoon. So I'm going to have to book this car back in for a week on Saturday. So let's fast forward a week. Well, we are back with the F40 1 Series with the faulty headlamp module. With the right part, it is now a L instead of a R. I'm going to plod on, and we're going to get this car torn down just on this passenger corner. Right, now with a little bit of jiggery or pokery, we're now back to where we left off, and I have removed the light module itself. Now, you've got to be so careful with these, especially like the little ribbon wires in there. If you're not careful, now how I did it was just go through that hole there with a 90-degree pick and just prise a little locking tab off it and wiggled it. Can you see down there? Wiggled the little tab off and pushed it out with my fingers. It's like a three-hand job, even though you've got two. But right, let's go round now to the failed component itself. And as you can see, top right hand corner, them little LEDs have failed. And it should look a little bit like that. Doesn't that look better? Right, let's get this one put in. Now with that light module nearly all the way home, the plug for it, you have to be careful with it, and you might have to just get yourself a pair of pointy nose pliers and just wiggle it around and push it in. But please be careful with it. Well, believe it or not, I put that new light module back in and it was still pretty much the same. And what had happened is they'd got that hot, and I'll show you now if I can flip it round and show you. In the back of the light itself, there's two light tubes. One for the inner ring, or is it for the inner ring? I don't know. Anyway, if you have a look at this top left one here, by there, it's all like melted. Well, I have picked it off as best as I can. Or what we're going to do is get a little Dremel. This is only a cheap one off Amazon, about 20 odd quid, I think, if that. And we're going to try and polish that little bit of plastic up there on the left, so it looks a little bit like that. I'll never get it perfect like that, but if we can improve it, we're going to save this customer a lot of money by not replacing this headlamp. Right, well, I'm going to start off with one of these little green ones. Now apparently I've been told they are for plastic to polish them, so we're going to give it a little bit of a go and see what happens. We can't make it any worse than what it is, we're only going to improve it whatever we do. Right, well, after about 5 minutes of sounding like the dentist in here, what I've done, we are getting to a little bit of progress, and to be honest with you, I'm fairly confident that this is going to work. I can get it. Now before, it was all dull and yellowy, but you can see now that we're getting, oh, it's so hard for you lot to see this. You might be able to see it there now, that we're getting some sort of light through it. But if I get my little torch, there's a little box of torch. Now this is in my bio if you want to go and have a look and check them out. Just put the light through it. We are getting somewhere, I think. If we put the light module back in it, we might be alright. Right, now with that LED module plugged back in and back in the lamp, let's jump round now and put the side lights on. Not the parking lights, the side lights. Are they on? Yeah, them side lights are on. Now, it's never going to be perfect, but it is going to be 110% better than what it was. It is no longer yellow, and that light is now showing the correct colour. Oh yeah, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but that is job done, I think. Right, well, after a few little setbacks on this car, like I said, it's not perfect, but it's 95% better than what it was. And it's going to, well, if the customer wants it 100% perfect, he's going to have to get himself a brand new light unit at a phenomenal price. But I think, my personal opinion, he's going to be happy with that. Now, I'm not going to bore you, but I've got to get all this car now put back together. And there we have it with a little bit of magic. That car now is back on the floor. Now if I just flip the camera around, like I said, it is not 100%, which we know, but it is 1,000,000% better than what it was when it came in. Like, if that was my car, I'd probably be happy with that, putting up with that. But anyway, I like to think now that I have saved the customer a little bit of money, and we have saved something rather than replacing it, wasting lots and lots of money. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. I wonder what I'm doing next. I don't really know what I've got on next. Hopefully a bit of a chill day. Well, this car has drained the life out of me a little bit with wrong parts and one thing or another, but there you go. That is what we're up against in the motor trade. You know, it's not always clean sailing. But yeah, anyway, let's get it off the ramp and get someone else on, and let's get a sim.